You are my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
I'm afraid you are under some grave mistake. I am not little. In fact, I believe I am more than usually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. You, I see from your card, are my cousin Earnest. My wicked cousin Earnest.
Oh, well, I'm not very wicked at all, cousin Cecily. You mustn't think that I'm wicked.
Well, if you are not, then you have been deceiving us all in a most inexcusable manner. I hope that you have not been leading double life, pretending to be wicked, but really being good all along. That would be hypocrisy.
Oh, well, of course, I have been rather reckless.
Glad to hear it.
In fact, now that you mention the subject, I have been very bad in my own small way.
I don't think you should be so proud of that. Though I'm sure it must have been very pleasant.
Well, it is much pleasanter being here with you.
I don't understand how you can be here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
Oh, that is a terrible disappointment. I am obliged to go up by the first train on Monday morning. I have a business appointment that I am anxious to miss.
Couldn't you miss the appointment anywhere but in London?
No, the appointment is in London.
Well, understand, of course, how important it can be to miss a business engagement if one wants to retain any sense of the beauty in life. But I still think you'd better wait until Uncle Jack gets back. He's going to want to talk to you about your emigrating.
About my what?
You're emigrating? Huh? Uncle Jack has gone out to buy your outfit.
Well, I certainly wouldn't let Jack buy my outfits. He has absolutely no taste in neckties at all.
Oh, I don't think you will be needing neckties. Uncle Jack is sending you to Australia.
Australia? I'd sooner die.
Oh, well, he said at dinner on Wednesday that you would have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Oh. Well.
Now, the accounts I've heard of the next world in Australia aren't particularly encouraging.
This world is good enough for me, cousin Cecily.
But are you good enough for it?
I'm afraid I'm not that. That is why I wish you to reform me. You might make that your mission, if you don't mind, cousin Cecily.
I'm afraid I have no time this afternoon.
Well, would you mind my reforming myself this afternoon?
Is rather exotic of you, but I think you should try.
Oh, I will. I feel better already.
You look rather worse.
That is because I am hungry.
How foolish of me! I should have known that one is about to embark on an entirely new life which requires regular and wholesome meals. Did you come in?
Oh, of course. But, may I have a buttonhole first? I never have any appetite unless I have a buttonhole first.
Marshal meal?
No. I'd sooner have a pink rose.
Why?
Because you are like a little pink rose, cousin Cecily.
Don't think it can be right for you to say such things to me. Miss Prism never does.
Then Miss Prism is a very short-sighted old lady. You are the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prism says all the looks are a snare.
Then they are a snare that every sensible man would love to be caught.
Oh, I don't think I should care to catch a sensible man. I shouldn't know what to talk to him about.
You are much too alone here, Dr. Charles. You should get married. A mystical life to understand what a woman feels nothing.
Believe me, I do not deserve so neologistic a phrase. The precept as well as the practice of the primitive church was distinctly against matrimony.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted to the present day. Do you not seem to realize, dear doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man confers himself into a permanent public temptation? Men should be more careful. This is a very celibacy that leads weaker vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive except to his wife.
And often I've been told not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of women. Maturity can be depended on. Rightness can be trusted. Young women are green. I spoke horticulturally. My metaphor was drawn from fruits. Where is Cecily?
Perhaps she followed us to the school.
Mr. Worthing!
Mr. Worthing?
This is indeed a surprise. We cannot expect you until Monday afternoon.
I have returned sooner than I expected. Dr. Choswell, I hope you are well.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I trust this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity.
My brother?
More shameful death and extravagance.
Still leading his life of pleasure?
Dead!
Your brother Ernest dead!
Quite dead?
What a lesson. I trust you will profit by it.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I convey my most sincere condolences. You have at least the consolation of knowing that you are always the most generous and forgiving of brothers.
Poor Ernest. He had many faults, but it is a sad, sad blow.
Very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad, in Paris. A severe chill.
Is a man so let him breathe.
Charity, dear Miss Prism, charity. None of us are perfect. I myself am peculiarly susceptible to drafts. Will the interment take place here?
No, he seems to have expressed a desire to be buried in Paris.
In Paris? I fear that hardly points to any very serious state of mind in the last. You would no doubt wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday.
Oh, yes.
My sermon on the meaning of the manna in the wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion, be it joyful or, as in the present case, distressing. I have preached at harvest celebrations, christenings, confirmations, on days of humiliation, and festal days. The last time I delivered was in the cathedral, as part of a charity sermon on behalf of the Society for the Prevention of Discontent among the upper orders. The bishop who was present was much struck by some of the analogies I drew.
You mentioned christenings, I think, Dr. Choswell. You know how to christen all right, don't you? I mean, you are continually christening, aren't you?
It is, I regret to say, one of the rector's most constant duties of this parish. I have spoken to the poorer classes on the subject, but they don't seem to know what thrift is.
But is there any particular infant in whom you are interested, Mr. Worthing? Your brother was, I believe, unmarried, was he not?
Oh, yes.
Live entirely for pleasure, as usually are.
But it is not for any baby, dear doctor. I would like to be christened myself this afternoon, if you've got nothing better to do.
But surely, Mr. Worthing, you have been christened already.
I don't remember anything about it.
Do you have any grave doubts on the subject?
I certainly intend to have. But I don't know if the thing would bother you in any way, or if you think I'm a little too old now.
Not at all. The sprinkling and indeed the immersion of adults is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
You need have no apprehensions. Sprinkling is all that is necessary. Or indeed, I think advisable. Our weather is so changeable. At what hour would you wish the ceremony performed?
Oh, I might drop by around 5 if that would suit you.
Perfectly, perfectly. In fact, I have two similar ceremonies to perform at the exact same time. A case of twins that occurred in one of the outlying cottages on your own estate. Poor Jenkins, the codger, a most hard-working man.
Oh, I don't want to be christened along with other babies. It would be childish. Would 5:30 do?
Admirably, admirably. And now, dear Mr. Worthing, I will not intrude any longer into a house of sorrow.
Oh.
I would merely wish you not to be too much bowed down by grief. What seem to us bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
This seems to be a blessing extremely obvious, huh?